I swear on everything holy, there's been someone standing across the street from my apartment window every single night since I moved in, just watching, never moving, an unnerving, silent sentinel in the oppressive darkness. It started subtly, a fleeting glimpse of a dark silhouette in my peripheral vision, but now I actively search for it, a horrifying nightly ritual that fills me with an indescribable, creeping dread. The figure wears what looks like a long, dark coat, but the details are always obscured by the distance and the overwhelming gloom, making it seem less like a person and more like an ominous, featureless void. I've tried everything, closing the blinds, leaving lights on, even shouting into the night once in a moment of sheer panic, but it never acknowledges my presence or breaks its unholy, unwavering gaze.
The thought that it might eventually cross the street and come closer paralyzes me with an existential terror that seeps into my dreams, leaving me sleepless, constantly on edge. My friends think I'm hallucinating from stress, a product of my overactive imagination fueled by late-night horror movies. But I know with chilling certainty that this is undeniably, terrifyingly real. One morning, I woke to find my front door slightly ajar, despite remembering locking it 3 times the previous night, an incident that sent a cold wave of absolute horror through my very core. I immediately slammed it shut, securing all locks with shaking hands, then spent the entire day consumed by an overwhelming feeling of vulnerability, every creak and shadow making me jump. I installed security cameras, hoping to capture proof or at least deter the entity, but the footage always shows nothing but an empty, windswept street, chillingly devoid of any life. It's like it knows when the cameras are on, vanishing just beyond their digital gaze, maintaining its spectral distance, an unseen, ever-present, haunting threat that defies rational explanation. The streetlights outside my apartment have also started flickering erratically when the figure is present, casting dancing shadows that twist into grotesque, monstrous shapes, amplifying the terrifying atmosphere. I've contemplated moving, packing up my entire life and fleeing, but a strange, morbid curiosity, mixed with profound, soul-shattering fear, keeps me rooted here, a reluctant prisoner.
What if it follows me? The thought alone is enough to send shivers down my spine, a horrifying possibility that suggests this isn't just about the location, but about me, specifically. Is it a ghost, a stalker, or something far more ancient and malevolent, something from the darkest corners of human imagination brought forth into my terrifying, mundane reality? I feel like I'm living inside a perpetual horror film, waiting for the climax, knowing deep down that the ending will be far more terrifying and personal than any movie could ever portray. So here I am, sharing my story, hoping someone out there has an explanation, a solution, anything to break this endless, suffocating cycle of nightly terror before it utterly consumes me.
I know this sounds absolutely insane, but for the past month, I've been waking up to someone standing right on my enclosed front porch, peering into my living room through the sheer curtains every single night. It's not a reflection nor a trick of the light. This is a distinct, human-shaped shadow pressed against the glass, unnervingly still, its presence a suffocating weight in the pre-dawn silence. The first time I saw it, I screamed, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird, convinced it was an intruder, grabbing the heaviest thing I could find instinctively. But then I noticed it didn't try to break in. It just stood there, motionless, like a morbid statue, seemingly observing my terror with an unnatural, chilling patience that felt deeply invasive. My porch light is motion-activated, but it never turns on for this figure, which makes absolutely no sense. It's like it exists in a different dimension, undetectable by regular means.
I tried to capture it on my phone, aiming my camera through the peephole, but all the resulting photos are just blurry, distorted streaks of darkness, an unsettling, unidentifiable mess. The police were polite, but dismissed my claims, suggesting I might be experiencing sleep paralysis or a stress-induced hallucination, leaving me feeling even more isolated and utterly helpless. I've boarded up the windows on the porch with thick plywood, but I still feel its gaze, a suffocating weight penetrating the barriers, making every night a torment of anticipation.
Sometimes I hear faint scraping noises, almost like fingernails dragging lightly across glass, even through the plywood. A sound that sends shivers of pure horror down my trembling spine. I stopped sleeping in my bedroom, choosing the couch in the living room instead, hoping the extra distance from the porch might grant me some semblance of psychological safety. To no avail. The house feels colder now, a chilling presence pervading every room, making the air heavy and still, an unnatural quiet that echoes with the silent threat just beyond the door. My cat, usually playful and affectionate, now just stares intensely at the boarded-up porch door, his fur bristling, letting out low, guttural growls at nothing visible, amplifying my terror.
I've started leaving little offerings on the porch, a desperate, irrational attempt to appease whatever this entity might be, hoping to persuade it to simply leave me alone forever. This nightmare has become my entire existence. Every sunrise is a temporary reprieve, every sunset a dreadful countdown to the return of my silent, uninvited nightly visitor. I feel like I'm slowly losing my mind, questioning my own sanity. But then I see the subtle, almost imperceptible handprint on the outside of the plywood, confirming its horrifying reality. Does anyone out there have any advice or similar experiences? Or am I truly alone in this agonizing, ceaseless surveillance by something that defies all rational human understanding?
You guys, I am utterly terrified because for the past 2 weeks, a very tall, gaunt figure has been standing at the edge of the woods behind my rural property every single night, just staring at my house. It's always there around midnight, silhouetted against the dark, dense trees, an unnervingly still presence that radiates an aura of profound, ancient malevolence, causing my blood to run cold. My wife thinks it's probably a prank, some local teenagers trying to scare us, but the sheer constancy and the unsettling lack of movement suggests something far more sinister and persistent. I've tried shining a powerful flashlight directly at it, hoping to scare it away or at least get a better look, but the beam seems to vanish into it, absorbed by its absolute darkness. The figure doesn't have any discernible features. It's just a tall, thin, humanoid shape, like a shadow cut out of the fabric of night itself, an empty void that observes without eyes. Our usually brave golden retriever refuses to go into the backyard after dusk now, whimpering and cowering by the back door, a clear sign that even animals sense its terrifying, unnatural presence. I even set up a trail camera, the kind hunters use, but the only images captured are eerie static or perfectly normal empty shots of the trees, nothing ever showing the figure itself. It feels like it's intelligently evading detection, a chilling awareness of technology, which only heightens my growing sense of absolute dread and makes me question everything I know.
I've considered confronting it, walking out there myself, but every time I think about taking that first step, an overwhelming primal fear freezes me solid, roots me to the spot. Sometimes, when the wind blows just right, I swear I can hear a faint, almost imperceptible, high-pitched hum emanating from its direction, a sound that vibrates deep in my bones. It feels less like a person watching us and more like an ancient, patient predator observing its prey, a horrifying, drawn-out psychological torture that is slowly eroding my sanity. My dreams are now plagued by visions of that gaunt shape entering my house, standing over my bed, completely silent. A recurring nightmare that makes waking up feel like a continuation.
The local legend of the Shadow Man of Blackwood Forest suddenly seems far more real and terrifying, a creature from folklore now appearing in my very own isolated backyard. My wife is starting to get scared too, her dismissive attitude replaced by a palpable, quiet dread, especially after finding strange, muddy footprints leading towards our back door. We locked every window and door, activated the alarm system, but the sheer presence of that thing outside feels like it nullifies all security, rendering our defenses utterly meaningless. So what do I do? How do you fight something that doesn't move, doesn't react, yet exudes such an overwhelming, silent, bone-chilling threat, relentlessly watching your every terrifying move?